Welcome to the Crow's Advantage. We are the team here at Cushiony Business Masters. And today, we're opening up our playbooks, really, sharing some key strategies we've developed internally. Our aim is to give you some critical, maybe counterintuitive insights for really maximizing efficiency in professional service firms.
Yeah, exactly. We're doing a deep dive today into organizational efficiency, specifically how you can pinpoint and, frankly, ruthlessly eliminate that operational drag, the hidden dead weight that slows down even really high-performing practices. This isn't about small tweaks. It's about a fundamental shift.
Absolutely. We sifted through a huge amount of research looking at everything from, profitability issues to internal workload complaints. And the metaphor that just kept coming up, the one that really crystallized our whole approach, was the common crow. So we formalized this. We call our strategy the crow that never carries dead weight.
Okay, so let's unpack that. What's the core lesson here from watching these birds?
Well, it's basically brutal utility, ruthless efficiency. A crow carries absolutely nothing it doesn't need. Every single item has to serve an immediate high-value purpose or, possess some definite future use. Anything else, they just drop it instantly.
Instantly, and that's where so many professional firms fall short, isn't it? We tend to operate with this kind of sluggish inefficiency. We accumulate dead weight over years. Maybe it's staff and roles that aren't clearly defined or expensive software nobody really uses. Or, and this is often the big one, relationships that just demand way more than they actually deliver.
Right. So the mission for this deep dive, for you listening, is to get the tools, the mindset, really, to channel that crow's instinct, to ask yourself, what is your firm hauling around right now? Out of habit, maybe? Or sentimentality? That's draining resources without giving back proportional strategic value. Okay, so here's where it gets really interesting. Because the first place, firms often pile up this dead weight. Well, it's client relationships. We all know every firm has those, let's say, problematic accounts. But cutting them loose often feels difficult, maybe like admitting failure. So how does the Crow's Advantage strategy help here, beyond just saying fire the client?
Well, our strategy uses the crow's discernment as a direct model. Think about how they choose where to find food. Crows learn incredibly fast what the return on investment is for any given spot. If a location takes too much effort for too little reward, they just stop going there, period. And crucially, they have zero loyalty to a territory that consistently fails that yield test. They immediately redirect their energy, go somewhere more productive.
Yeah, but that feels so much harder in the professional world, doesn't it? You might have this long-standing client, pays slow, questions every single invoice, needs constant partner hand-holding. And there's the history, right? The fear of upsetting people, the optics, maybe even this lingering hope that, someday they'll turn into a great client.
And that right there, that hesitation, that's the sunk cost fallacy staring you in the face, but applied to relationships. Our internal methodology, the one we use with clients, actually measures this objectively. We push firms to develop what we call a total relationship impact score. This score looks at revenue, sure, but weighs it against required partner time, staff emotional drain, how long receivables sit, and critically, the opportunity cost. What else could that partner be doing, like cultivating better prospects?
Okay. That reframes it completely. It's not just about the money they bring in. It's about the total cost to the firm, capacity, morale, everything. So if that score is consistently low, the crow-minded decision becomes much clearer.
Exactly. And what's really fascinating, we often find that one difficult client consumes partner time equivalent to what you'd need to cultivate maybe 3 ideal prospects. So the elite firms, the ones using our approach, they set a clear, non-negotiable threshold.
Yeah.
If genuine efforts to improve the relationship fail, they execute a graceful, planned exit. Yes, there might be short-term awkwardness, but it's nothing compared to the long-term gaining capacity and even reputation among better clients.
And you really see the difference in firms that do this, right? The internal effect.
Oh, absolutely. It's palpable. Staff re-engage, their focus shifts. They move from managing unreasonable demands to delivering great service for clients who actually appreciate it.
You essentially trade partner frustration for focused strategic growth.
Yeah. So if that external drag from clients is bad, internal drag, especially personnel issues, can be truly corrosive. It eats away at the culture. What does our Cushiony Business Masters research suggest about handling underperformers, maybe drawing from that crow analogy again?
Right, the social dynamics. Crows live in surprisingly complex communities. They recognize and actively reinforce relationships that offer mutual benefit. That's key. And when you observe them, they really show an unwillingness to tolerate being exploited or carrying others indefinitely. If there's a prolonged imbalance or someone consistently takes without giving back, it destabilizes the whole group. They address it.
And that mirrors the challenge of the underperforming team member perfectly. You know, the one, someone who's been in a role for years, maybe minimal output, needs constant supervision, makes the same mistakes, and leadership hesitates. They worry about disruption, finding a replacement, maybe just the awkwardness of the conversation.
But that hesitation, it sends a powerful message, doesn't it? What about your high performers, the ones knocking it out of the park? They see the firm tolerating mediocrity and they start to wonder, why am I working so hard?
Exactly. We see it time and again. High performers get frustrated. They start looking elsewhere because the standard has visibly slipped. Yeah. You risk losing your best people because you couldn't address your weakest link.
So the solution isn't just about, abruptly firing people. It's about a clear-eyed assessment, objective standards. What kind of mechanisms does the Crow's Advantage strategy recommend for this?
Structure. We bring structure to that decision-making, move away from gut feelings, focus on objective metrics, maybe a trailing performance index, clear goals set in advance, and a structured, finite period for support and improvement. Offer genuine help, training, resources. But if sustained poor performance continues despite all that, the decision has to be made, swiftly, cleanly.
And the rest of the team notices that consistency.
Absolutely. Your remaining team members, especially the high performers, they gain confidence. They see leadership as willing to uphold standards, to protect excellence. It reinforces that their own hard work is valued precisely because inadequate work isn't tolerated indefinitely. It builds trust, boosts morale, reinforces a genuine culture of accountability. It's huge.
Okay, let's shift gears a bit. Let's talk technology and processes. This is where dead weight can be almost invisible, right? Because it's often justified by past spending. The sunk cost fallacy really takes hold here. It's like a graveyard for good intention.
Oh, it truly is. We audit firms, and you see it. Paying tens of thousands a year for software. Platforms that maybe failed to deliver on their promises years ago.
Yeah.
But the firm keeps paying because, well, we spent so much implementing it. And then you find the staff, totally frustrated, have created workarounds, manual systems and spreadsheets. It completely defeats the purpose of the original investment. It's madness.
And the Crow provides such a stark contrast, such an antidote to that inertia. If a crow starts digging somewhere, invests effort, and finds nothing, it just stops immediately. The energy it already spent, totally irrelevant to the next decision. It doesn't sit there mourning the wasted effort on the whole. It just moves on to find a productive spot.
And elite firms apply that exact logic, ruthlessly. They evaluate current utility. What is this doing for us now? Not what did we invest back then. They recognize that continuing to struggle with bad tools, working around them, it costs exponentially more in lost time, inefficiency, staff frustration, than just switching. Throwing more resources or frustration at a failed platform. That's just digging the unprofitable hole deeper.
Okay, and then there are procedures. This might be the most insidious kind of dead weight because it's just organizational habit, often disguised as risk management.
Yeah, procedures calcify. They become like old bones. We see it all the time. The classic example, requiring, say, 3 executive signatures on routine expense reports. Why? Because 15 years ago, one person committed fraud, but that person is long gone. The risks are managed digitally now, yet the rule stays, burning hours of partner time every single week.
Or that rigid hour-long Monday morning all-hands meeting, 30 people in the room, an agenda designed back when the firm was like 6 people. It's just inertia.
Precisely. Our research shows crows adapt fast. They learn from feedback in like a single go. Firms need that same agility. We recommend a systematic, maybe annual review, a ruthless pruning of old procedures. You have to put every single requirement, every process on trial. Ask, does this still create more value than the friction it causes? Honestly. If the answer is no, it needs to go. No sentimentality. Removing that built-up complexity is absolutely vital for speed and agility today.
So if we just step back for a moment, look at the big picture, what does this whole Crow survival strategy really boil down to for a modern professional service firm?
It boils down to this. Success depends on an absolute refusal to tolerate drag in any form. It's about continuous intentional refinement of focus, whether that focus is on clients, on people, on systems, or processes. That deliberate focus is the key differentiator between just getting by and achieving sustained elite performance.
Yeah, it's the courage, isn't it? The courage to drop what isn't working anymore. Whether that's a demanding client who drains profit, a system that frustrates everyone, or just a pointless old rule. Letting go is the single biggest way to create new capacity in the organization.
Exactly.
And that freed up capacity, that's what lets a good practice transform into a truly elite one that can scale efficiently.
So here's a final thought for you, the listener. A challenge, really.
Yeah.
Identify just one single area in your operation right now. Could be a client, a colleague, a system, a procedure,
Mm.
where past loyalty or history or sunk costs
Mm.
are currently costing you capacity. Draining energy. What is the one thing you could choose to abandon without sentiment today to free up immediate energy for better results tomorrow?
We really hope these insights from the Crow's Advantage help you streamline your practice, help you embrace that level of efficiency needed for elite performance. Because this is what our team at Cushiony Business Masters is all about, delivering actionable intelligence based on deep assessment and real-world experience. Make sure you subscribe to the Crow's Advantage wherever you get your podcasts. That way you won't miss out on more of our strategies and expert insights. We look forward to sharing our next deep dive with you.